This is a big thing that's happening right now. Um, it's on a lot of headlines. People are flag waving that World War III is imminent, or that Israel is totally out of line, that Iran doesn't have any clear intention of creating a nuclear bomb. There's another narrative that Iran is definitely on the path to creating a nuclear bomb. And would they acquire such a nuclear bomb, they would definitely use it. If you look at their past, at their recent past. Um, so learn with me. We're checking out the Wikipedia page for Iran-Israel war. This is so it's protected. So I don't know exactly what that means. You guys, all the editors, can let me know in the comments. But yeah, of course, this is a current event. It's happening and unfolding as I am reading, and I'm sure there are efforts to edit this as I'm reading it. First off the bat, they want to change it to, or there is a discussion about this title for the page. That I'm not interested so much in that. Let's dive into the intro paragraph, which, in my opinion, is what a lot of people look at when they open a Wikipedia entry. Is that first sort of primer for what's going on. Maybe we'll check out the sort of remind me what this box is called in WikiSpeak. I forget, like the headlines or the short bar. So this is an ongoing armed conflict between Iran, Israel, began on the 13th June 2025. 2025 being the 21st century, being the modern era of humanity. 100 years, roughly 100 years after World War I ends, and 100 years, 200 years after sort of the end of the Napoleonic Wars. So, yeah, we are about 100 years from a major kind of multi-million people dead war. Thank God, right? It's not a good thing, and we want to postpone an event like that as much as we can, but I digress. So this begins June 13th, 2025, when Israel launched a surprise attack targeting key military and nuclear facilities, cutting short negotiations between Iran and the United States over Iran's nuclear ambitions. Note that this has a Wikipedia, and it's also unclear what that means. Nuclear ambitions means they... Excuse me. My cat is demanding something of me. Anyways, I'm going to continue. So, yeah, nuclear ambitions and the easing of economic sanctions. So Iran, I mean, we can assert from the sense that Iran is under sanctions, and that it has nuclear ambitions. With the opening hours of the war saw targeted assassinations of Iran's top military leaders and nuclear scientists, airstrikes on nuclear military facilities, and destruction of Iran's defenses. Iran retaliated by launching missiles at military sites and cities in Israel. Lots of citations for everything here, which is always good. Minor roles have been played by the United States, whose forces have helped defend Israel from incoming missiles, and the Houthis in Yemen, which fired several missiles at Israel. So this conflict is considered an escalation of decades-long animosity between the two countries, during which Iran challenged Israel's legitimacy and called for its destruction, while Israel considered the Iranian nuclear program an existential threat. During the crisis in the Middle East that followed October 7 attacks in 2023, In the ensuing Gaza war, animosity escalated to direct confrontation. Israel weakened Iranian proxies such as Hamas and Hezbollah and began planning action against Iran. So this notion of proxies, so what is that again? The Axis of Resistance is an informal coalition of Iranian-supported militant and political organization across the Middle East. Hamas, which is they committed the October 7th attacks on Israel. Hezbollah is a Lebanese Shia Islamist party, and they are apparently Iranian proxies. The countries traded strikes in April and October 2024. The Israeli strikes of June 2025 began the day after the expiration of the 2-month deadline that U.S. President Donald Trump had set for securing a deal to keep Iran from developing a nuclear bomb. Interesting. So, one day after this 2-month deadline expires, Israel takes the initiative and does a attack on Iran. The day before the Israeli strike began, the IAEA, which is the International Atomic Energy Agency, found Iran non-compliant with its nuclear obligations for the first time in 20 years. So, I don't know exactly what that means, but it seems... This is a Reuters article. It's not some Israeli propaganda. I think Reuters isn't affiliated at all with Israel. Interesting. Anyways, I don't have enough details, and I'm not going to take us down that rabbit hole, but one should, perhaps, before developing any strong opinions on the matter. The Israeli attacks killed several of Iran's military leaders from the IRGC, which is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. At least 10 leading nuclear scientists and more than 200 Iranian civilians, according to both the Iranian Health Ministry and anti-government human rights activists and news agency. Airstrikes damaged the Natanz nuclear facility and the Isfahan Iranian conversion facility, but apparently left the Fordo fuel enrichment plant unscathed. Israel also hit a missile complex near Tabriz, the Kermanshah underground missile facility, and the IRGC facilities near Tehran and Piranshah. The attacks also damaged public infrastructure. The first wave of Iranian retaliation included about 100 missiles and 100 drones. Those and later strikes killed 24 people, all civilian missiles having hit civilian apartments, a university, and a hospital. Legal scholars saw the Israeli strike as a violation of international law. This is from the BBC and seems like a German German journal. A view across. So, a view taken by the government of Bolivia, Brazil, China, Cuba, Russia, and South Africa. So Israel is violating international law according to this list of countries. The initial attacks by Israel were condemned by countries across the Islamic world, including Egypt, Jordan, Pakistan, and Turkey. Israel's attacks were met with approval by Germany, the United States, who said Iran should agree to a nuclear deal promptly. A number of Western countries said that Iran must not acquire nuclear weapons, condemning the violence, and called both Israel and Iran to de-escalate, with Canada, France, and the United Kingdom stating that Israel has the right to self-defense. And the UN expresses control for restraint, belligerence. Iran, Houthis. And we have Israel and the U.S. Anyways, this again, people are concerned that this conflict could be the spark that ignites a keg in the Middle East that would explode and have ramifications the world over, setting a series of events and different attacks, causing countries of the world to, either defend their allies, join, or isolate themselves. Look, I don't know. It's hard to understand what's going on in today's world because headlines can be misleading. They can draw you to the left of center views. They can draw you to the right of center views. So it's hard to understand exactly where the truth lies here. Usually, in my experience, it's a little bit of everything. There's some aspects are true, but yeah, I'm definitely keeping a close eye on this topic. Wiki with me is out.